We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
What? Hi, it's Lizanna here for the Real Talk with Brookshire show. I know you're so used to seeing Brookshire here in front of the scene, just greeting you and saying hello and what's up. And I know I don't look like Brookshire, but you remember me. I'm the dating and relationship expert on the show, Lizanna Smith. Mr. Brookshire couldn't be with us today because he's out there taking business, just bringing back amazing content for you guys. So I'm here with my main girl, Shantiera. We're going to be holding it down today.
Holding it down.
And, I just want to make sure that, as Brookshire always says, you know how we start off the show. We love you. Every single solitary one of you. We just send you lots of love, lots of hugs, because we couldn't do this show if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for just being a part of this show today. Thank you so much for joining us. We love to have you here. And guess what? Speaking of love, today, that's what we're going to be talking about. That's right, love. In particular, how to get a date. We're going to go through 5 ways to get a date this month. And so we're here right now. We have my co-host here, Shantiera. Hey, girl.
Hey.
How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Awesome. How's your weekend been?
My weekend was great. The weather was nice.
Yes.
Went to the
Wasn't
beach, laid out.
Oh, you had a beautiful weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Any dates this weekend?
No.
No, not yet.
Just hung out with some girlfriends, but
Okay.
how was your weekend?
My weekend was really fantastic. Nelson Mandela's birthday is coming up,
Mhm.
and really excited to just celebrate and honor a man who really is a living legend. And so I got the chance to do that, which was amazing.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. I almost had a date this weekend, and because I had my community service situation going on, and you know how much I believe in community service. I have my book, Get a Ring on It,
Mhm.
10 Secrets to Becoming Wife Material. And in that book, I talk about being active. That's one of the secrets. And so not just being active physically in the gym, but also just being active for yourself, right?
Yes, gotta
And
stay
so-
healthy.
Right. And also being active in your community or your church, that type of thing. And so, those same 10 secrets, I use them too. And so I was doing that today. But
Nice.
I really want us to get into these 5 ways to get a date this month. I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, what do you feel about dating in and of itself? What are your ideas on that?
I think dating is fun. It's good to date. That way you know what you're attracted to. You know
Yeah.
the type of people you're attracted to. I think that it really helps you figure out what you like and what you don't like. So I think dating can be fun.
Okay.
What about you?
And could you use some more dates?
I could definitely use some more dates. I'm dateless. I don't know when the last time I've been on a date.
Wow. See, we're going to fix that right now. So see, this particular segment was just really brought to me by a site that I saw online. And it was an ultimate dating challenge. And it really was about how to get dates. And the challenge was to get 10 dates in a month, in a 30-day
Wow.
period. And that seems like it could be a lot. And I think
Yeah.
the hardest part of that is, how do you get 10 dates in
Yes.
such a short amount of time,
Especially
right?
with work and everyday life.
Right. So, I'm all about integrating our dating life with our work life and our normal life. I mean, this is not about changing things, right? This is about us just doing what we do. So, the first way that I believe that we can get some dates. So these are my top 5 ways to get dates this month. I date, girl. I do. I go out. I enjoy my time. It's fun, right? And I want to help you get a date as well. So my top 5 ways to get a date this month. So number 1 is online dating. And I know, I already hear it. I hear y'all out there moaning.
But there's pros and cons of online dating. It's not always bad.
It's not always bad. Have you been online dating yet?
I've never done it, but I've
Okay.
heard a lot of great things. I know some friends have actually met their soulmates
Yeah,
from online dating. So
absolutely.
I'm not totally against it, but I haven't done it.
I mean, Match.com says that 1 in 5 relationships now meet online. So there has to be something about that.
Mhm.
And, the 5 that I'm going to give you today, one of the things that I love about these 5 is that they're going to make sure that you're compatible with your partner. It's not just about getting a date just to get a date, but these are going to be dates with people who you have common interests with, common values with, so that you can go ahead and actually find the man or woman that you would like to be dating seriously. And as you know, one of my secrets in the book is being compatible.
Right.
So
Mhm.
I'm trying to help you guys be compatible. So that will be a whole nother show specifically on online dating and how to online date properly and appropriately. But I would definitely say you want to get on there. You want to get on Match.com or eHarmony, or some people like OkCupid and some people like Plenty of Fish. Personally, I'm a big believer that the paid sites are a little bit better. Not that they guarantee you necessarily better results, but I feel like the paid sites mean that people have to have a barrier of entry to get on the site, right?
Right, yeah.
So if someone is paying $20 a month just to be on a dating site, they trying to date for real. This is not, I'm just trying to get a hookup. This is,
They're looking for the real thing.
I'm really looking for something. And
Yeah.
I think that there's something about that. So definitely go ahead, go online date, because it really is a way for this month for you to get a man or a woman. My next point is networking mixers. Do you ever get invited to networking mixers?
I have not.
No?
No.
Oh my gosh, I used to get invited all the time. I mean, so many emails would come into my email account and just tell me, okay, there's this networking mixer that's coming up. And there's ways to join networking mixers, especially if you're in certain industries, if you're in public relations, if you're in entertainment, if you're in fashion. Even accountants have like accounting societies. You can join the networking mixer right in your own group, right in your own area, and meet people that are like-minded, just like yourself. Maybe they're in the same profession, or sometimes I've seen people come out and meet a friend at one of these networking mixers. So maybe they're not in public relations, but their public relations friend asked them to come with them to support them.
And they end up meeting someone there.
And they end up meeting somebody there. So I'm really a big proponent of networking mixers. I think that they are
You have to check
awesome.
those networking mixers.
Yes, go ahead, go online, look them up. Definitely just DVR your favorite show. You can watch it when you get back home. We got to get you out the house, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I do have a very hot UPS man, but he's taken. So if I stay at home waiting for a man, that just may not happen. I got to get out there and meet somebody. So networking mixers, that's what we're going to do.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up on the networking mixers. So similar to networking mixers, my third point would be meetup groups. Are you familiar with meetup.com?
Heard of it. Haven't done that either.
Okay. Meetup.com is a really great website. And basically, you can go on there and you can find other people in other groups that have similar interests, again, like yours. So what is a hobby that you like doing, Shantiera? Think of a hobby.
Hobby.
Like something you like to do when you're not working so hard.
I like to go to the movies. I like to skate, too.
Okay, so I like the movie one. So let's go with the movie. So let's say you like movies. They actually have meetup groups for people who like movies. And sometimes they even break it down to certain genre of movies. So maybe you like independent movies. Maybe you like French films. Maybe you like all different types of movies, horror movies, adventure movies. And they would have a meetup group for all of those different types of movies. Sometimes they even put age range on it. So they encourage people of a certain age range and a certain type of interest to come out. And the thing about meetup.com is it's free. So it doesn't even cost you anything to go on meetup.com, create a profile, and then you look for interests that are similar to yours. So you can literally, in the search bar, put in movies, and you'll get all these great ideas for movies and groups of people who, just like you, like movies. And you said skating, so it would be the same. So you can join several meetup groups. You're not limited to just one. So you can do a meetup group for movies, and then you could do another one for skating, all types of fun stuff. What do you think about that?
I think that sounds good. I never really knew too much about meetups, but That sounds
Isn't that fun?
sounds like a good way to meet somebody. And I like the fact too that it seems like it may be like a safe environment. There's a bunch of
Right.
people around, so you don't have to
Exactly.
meet up with someone like, oh my gosh, I wonder if he's a killer.
Yes. And you automatically have something to talk about, right?
Right.
Because you're watching this independent film together.
So obviously you guys both like independent films.
Right. So automatically you go right into that, which is super awesome.
Yeah.
So one of the other ways that I believe that you can get a date this month, you're not going to believe this one. You're going to be real surprised. It's work.
What?
I know.
Mm.
I know people look at me like, I don't know if I want to date nobody at work. I don't want to, eat and crap in the same place, as they would say. And we don't want you doing that either. But you know how many people meet people at work?
I'm sure a lot.
A lot of people. Do you know why people meet so many people at work?
Because they're there all day.
All day, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, sometimes more. So 40 plus hours a week. Where are you? You're at work. And a nice thing about when you meet someone at work is you've already gotten to see them in all different colors. So you've seen them on bad days. You've seen them when they're under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You see when they get promotions, or they just got a winning account, or they did something well. So you get to see people in all different colors at work, which
and all
is
that sounds
really
really
nice.
good until you break up.
Yeah. So you do have to treat that one very lightly and very carefully, because obviously you don't want to go in there and mess up your own working situation.
Right.
The other thing is too, is if it works out really well, you may not be able to stay there because I mean, now you have two people that work together, and especially if the person is a subordinate to you, or that person is your boss, I mean, that could become a real sticky HR situation. And every company has different HR policies as far as work is involved. So definitely check your company's HR policy, check what they say about, fraternizing, as they call it, in the workplace. But really, a lot of people meet at work, and I would strongly, strongly consider that one of the ways to get a date this month. That cutie down the hall, maybe he's in another department that you always see in the coffee room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got instant connection. Talk to that person. Talk to that person. And then last but definitely not least, we have friends and family. I think that's so overrated. I think people have forgotten that you can really go to your friends and your family and get a date. Find somebody to date. I mean, have you ever met anyone through a friend or a family member?
I have, through a friend.
Okay. And how did it go?
It went well. It went
Okay.
really well. We were actually together for a few years, so
See?
it went well.
See, look at that. Together for a few years. See, people don't recognize. No one knows you better than your friends and family. So, I mean, your friends and your family are going to know what's most compatible for you, right? So they're going to know you, they're going to know your style. And then if this is a friend of theirs, they also know this other person. So it's way easier for a family member or a friend to put you guys together than it is for you just to go out there and find someone on your own. So I love the idea of friends and family kind of just meeting up and finding somebody for you. Do you know, in certain cultures, this is all they do. So like in Indian cultures and stuff, I mean, your family goes out and they put out, searches, girl. I've seen it. They have resumes and they have headshots, and they around the world are trying to find a match for you. I mean, can you imagine if you had kind of like an APB for your secret somebody and your whole family and all your friends went out there looking for this person that would be perfect just for you? How cool would that be? Right? Wouldn't that be nice?
It would.
And again, very, very compatible.
Plus, it's always nice when like your family, your friends love who you're with too. So
yes.
They always got your back. So they'll be looking out for you and making sure that person treats you right.
Absolutely. So those are my 5 ways for you to get a date this month. So you don't have to sit on the couch anymore. You don't have to wonder what you can do to find somebody. See, we gonna give you some proactive tips to go out there to find someone that you can have some compatibility with and really cuddle up with. So maybe the next time you're at home on the couch watching a movie, you're not doing it alone. Ooh. So what we have coming up next is matchmaker Nikki Faye from mixmatchla.com, who's going to give us some more tips and give us some insights on how to be match-made to meet and have the right person in your life right here on Real Talk with Brookshire.
listen while spring sings a song. Please say you love me. April, shower me with your love today. By May, I will be blooming. When whispers in my ear to let me know you're almost here.
Hi, welcome back. This is Real Talk with Brookshire. I'm your host, dating and relationship expert, Lizanna Smith, and I'm so happy to be here today. We're having such a fun conversation about dating, and today we just discussed the 5 ways to get a date this month. I'm with my co-host today, Shantiera. Hey, Shantiera, how you doing?
Hey.
Yeah. So we're here today, and we're just talking about how to get you off the couch and how to get you inside a nice restaurant maybe, or walking, strolling, holding hands on the beach with that special someone. And who better to give us advice on how to do that than an actual matchmaker? How cool is that, right?
Right.
So we have Nikki Faye on the line. Nikki Faye is from mixandmatchla.com, and we are so excited to have her here because she's going to give us some tips on her version of how to meet somebody, how to get out, and then what we should be looking for, how we can find some actual chemistry and connection with that special someone. Hey, Miss Nikki Faye, are you there?
Hey, Nikki.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, we
Hi.
hear you loud and clear. How are you today?
I'm wonderful. How are you guys?
We're good.
We're fantastic. We're just here, trying to figure out what we can do so that we can get some dates this month. One of the things is now that people have read Get a Ring on It, they've been telling me, okay, so now I know how to become wife material. I got to figure out how I can get a man because I need to get the man in order to show him that I'm wife material. And so I wanted to bring you on because who better to explain some of these principles of how to meet somebody than an actual matchmaker. So before we get into that, can you tell us a little bit about mixandmatchla.com?
Well, basically, mix and match is something I started. I've been a matchmaker for several years, but mix and match was something I started to make the matchmaking process a little bit more fun. So basically, what we do is we get together an even number of singles, guys and girls, and we do several different, we do games and we drink and we have, mixologists come in and teach us how to make, cocktails, and we just make it fun. We make it a good time. So you basically come out and it's like you didn't come to a singles event, which people really hate, but it's like you just came out to have a good time. And in the process, you meet some really cool people. So if there's no pressure, in the event, you just come out, have a good time, and hopefully you come out with, a guy or gal, depending on what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
why is the dating process so hard for people? Like single events, people are so intimidated to go out and meet anyone. Why do you think that that's the case?
Well, I think because we're all afraid, in some way of rejection. Like,
Yes.
Who likes to be rejected?
I don't want to be rejected.
I don't. And especially men, I have to say,
Yeah.
men really hate rejection. So it's tough. It's really tough getting out there and putting yourself out there and putting it all on the line. It's really difficult,
Right.
for anybody to do. So, I think that's really the biggest reason why people hate singles events and hate being out there and dating and putting themselves out there. But you have to do it. That's the key. You have to do it.
Absolutely. So tell us, how did you become a matchmaker? Who grows up to say, I'm going to put people together? That's a real skill. I know I don't have that skill particularly. So
Me either.
how did you even find out that you have that skill? It's like a superpower.
Honestly, how it started is that I was talking to some female friends, and you've had these conversations.
Yeah.
And my friends are like, hey, I meet so many people or whatever, but it's so hard to connect with other people who are like me. And, I meet a lot of guys or girls, vice versa. But it's just really tough connecting with people and finding people that you trust. And, and I was talking to guy friends. They said the same thing. It's so hard to meet a good woman. I meet a lot of women, but, none of them who match kind of my criteria of what I'm looking for. And so, one day I was like, what? It's so funny because I'm meeting both men and women who are saying to me that they have trouble meeting men and women.
Right.
But I know all these people, so why not bring them together?
Exactly.
So what I did was I started having what I call singles cooking parties at my house.
Yum.
And,
That sounds delicious.
So I would invite a even number of guys and girls, and they would all come over, and I would set out the recipes with the ingredients, and they would get together and just cook and make dinner. And after dinner was made, we would eat, and, you know, we'd have fun. You know how, you know, when guys and, you know, girls are together, you know, we start acting silly and
Yes.
you know, doing all these kinds of crazy things. And in the process, like, people were leaving and meeting, and, like, you know, people were calling me like, oh my God, I met somebody really cool on the way to the car, or, you know, I prepared this dish with this person, and, you know, we're going to go out, and it just really worked out.
Yeah.
So, you know, I started having these things often, and my friends are like, you know, you're really good at this. You should think about, you know, doing this for a living. And I'm like, no, really? Like, nobody's going to pay for that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you'll come to my house and do it for free, but who's really going to pay for it?
Yeah.
But
And
you know,
people
one
pay?
of those things where when your back is against the wall, like,
Right.
you know what, you take a chance on it. So I had gotten laid off my job, and so I was like, you know what, you know, I don't have a job, you know, I don't have any income coming in, so let me try this thing. So I just started a company, and within, like, literally a week, before I even got the materials printed out, I already had clients.
That's amazing.
So,
People are looking for love.
Yeah.
So
Looking for everyone.
yeah, absolutely. So what do you do? So a woman or a man comes to you and they're looking for love, like we just said. I mean, what is the process? How do they go through that process of, you know, finding somebody? What do you do? How do you take them through that process of getting a match made?
Well, what I do is I first sit down with them and kind of get to know them. It's like I take the people on the first date before you go out with them. So you eliminate that whole, like, he's weird, he's awkward, he doesn't know how to talk. You know, I eliminate all that because I ask all the hard questions. You know, I get to know the person, basically their likes and dislikes, what they're looking for, you know, their hobbies, things they like to do, whatever. So I go through that process, and I kind of figure out where they are in a dating process. Because some people I don't, you know, I don't take on as clients because some people aren't ready. Sometimes I send them to therapy.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes I send them to a date coach. They're different, you know, it's a different process for everyone.
Yes.
So, but people who are genuinely ready and looking for love, I'll go ahead and take on those clients. And what I do is, you know, I meet tons of people all the time, and, you know, I'm constantly adding people to my database. So I go through my database basically, and the people who are a good fit for who they are and what they're looking for, I send them out on a date.
Huh. Very cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is there a certain level of compatibility that you look for when now you're attaching them to somebody else? I mean, how do you go through your database of clients and say, this person A will go really well with this person B?
Well, honestly, I know this sounds very unrealistic, but I always have a feeling, like, honestly, when I'm going through the process with a person, usually, and I'm not a psychic or anything, I swear, but usually when I'm meeting with a person, someone typically pops in my head.
Okay.
And usually I will send them out with that person because I know the people very well. I've sat down with them. You know, usually I hang out with them and see what they're like, you know, on a personal level. So, you know, I know the people very well. So, you know, something will click that you say to me, or, you know, I feel that there's some sort of compatibility, and literally the person pops in my head. So I'll usually send you out with that person. If that doesn't work out, then I'll go through my database and see, you know, based on paper, who's a good fit, and then based on our conversation. So
it's more of an intuition thing, it sounds like.
Initially it is, but my intuition is also which it is sometimes, I must admit.
Of course, when you're human, right?
Not just go straight on paper.
Right. Have you had any marriages or seriously long-term connections yet from your matchmaking? Any fun stories?
I've had several. It's actually been very successful. Like, I'm shocked myself. You know, I got a call from one of my clients the other day, and, like, you know, I just got engaged, and I'm like, oh my God, like this.
Wow.
You know, I'm really happy that it's happening because it's like, you know, it proves to you, like, what you're doing. You're doing a good thing. You're helping people out. You help people find love and happiness, and that's really the most important thing to me. So I'm so excited every time I get a phone call like that. Like, you know, I'm getting married. You know, I had another client call me the other day. He's like, you know, the woman that you set me up with, like, I know she's the one. They've only been dating like a month.
Oh
but
my
he's
God.
like, I know she's the one. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome. You know?
That's incredible.
Yeah. So what do you
Love it.
What do you say about, people like myself who's never done online dating, and that's, maybe thought about it, but doesn't know how to get started and maybe a little unsure because of things that they've, heard or saw? What advice would you have for people like myself?
I say always, utilize all your options. You never know where you're going to meet a person. That person who you may meet online, like that person you probably never, ever run across in your daily activities, your daily routine at your job. You may not ever run into that person. So I highly encourage online dating. As a matter of fact, there's another matchmaker who's a friend of mine. She actually has a process of teaching you how to, set up your profile and teaching you how to online date. Her name is Dear Mrs. D. She has a website called dearmrsd.com. She will actually teach you how to set up your profile, and because she actually met her husband online.
Nice.
And after she had gone through that process, she decided to help others become more familiar with dating websites and how to, present yourself. Because a lot of times we just kind of throw it on there like, oh, my picture should be enough, and it's not. You should really be really able to express yourself and let a person see exactly who you are from that, basically a 15-second blurb that they have about you.
Exactly.
So I highly recommend online.
Exactly. So we're about to wrap up the show really soon, but tell me, is there anything in particular that you want to leave with our listeners today, or viewers? Is there anything about love, relationships, dating that you would like to, like a little nugget?
Well, I try to always tell people, have fun with your dating process. Every person you meet is not going to be the one. Try to really step outside of your comfort zone and do things that you won't normally do. Try to be really social, be out, things you love to do those things with people that, with social groups. So that way you meet people who also have, interests that, interest you. So immediately, there's compatibility because you're interested in the same thing. Get out of the box and just be open to finding love. Have a good time. Not everybody's going to be the one, but enjoy the moment. Don't lose your 2 hours on that date. Enjoy every moment of the day, because it doesn't have to be a love connection before you can make a connection and have a great time.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And how can our listeners and our viewers, how can they find you?
You can find me online at mixandmatchla.com, or if you'd like to shoot me an email, I'm at mixandmatchla@gmail.com, and that's mix, the letter N, match LA at gmail.com.
Wow.
Nice.
We're so excited to have you here. And
Yeah.
right before you go, we were just talking about the 5 ways to get a date this month, and we covered some really fun ones about just work and online dating and mixers. Exactly. Meetup.com. Is there anything that you feel that you would add to that list of ways to get people out to meet their possible soulmate?
I think you should be open to meeting people anywhere you go. I mean, keep your eyes peeled in your store, you're at the gas station. I mean, I meet people literally everywhere. At the mall when you're shopping. The other day I was at Macy's and getting ready for an Urban League event. And I was buying some things. I saw this, very handsome guy. I'm in a relationship, obviously, but I saw this very handsome guy. And, not even 2 hours later, I saw him again at the Urban League event. Oh. And that's a great way to approach someone, saying, hey, I just ran into you at Macy's, which I did. Right. Not for myself, but for my database. But I'm like, I just saw you at Macy's. What a coincidence that we're at the same event. And if you keep yourself out there, you can't be locked in your 4 walls of your home. Right. Get out of the house. Mix and mingle. Go meet people. Don't be afraid to approach people. Even if you're a woman, don't be afraid to make the first point of contact. And you know what? One thing I even recommend, if you're on Facebook and your friends are in a picture and you see that attractive person, someone catches your eye, don't be afraid to,
Exactly.
It's okay.
That's not creepy. Sending them a message on Facebook. Hey, right? I saw you in my friend's picture.
Will you go out with me?
I mean, don't be stalkerish with it, but, say, hey, we have a friend in common, I saw you, go to his page, check him out a little bit, or him or her. And I say, hey, I see you're interested in, water rafting. I am too,
Find
maybe
that common
whatever,
ground.
whatever.
Right.
But try to take his page because he might be married or with someone else. So
right. You might want to do that. Right.
Keep your options open. That's all I have to say. Keep your options open.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Nikki Faye. We're so grateful to have you. We'll love to have you actually in the studio sometime really soon. So again, mixandmatchla.com. Go check it out. So thank you.
Thank you.
And that's it. That's
thank you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you. And that's it. That's our show today. That's it. Did you have fun?
I did.
Did you learn some fun things?
I did. Thank you.
We're going to get out this month. We're going to go on dates, guys. So I hope that the information that you learned on this show today on Real Talk with Brookshire gave you the knowledge to go ahead and get out of the house and get an amazing, amazing date. You know, Brookshire loves to end the show by saying and reminding you that there's always another you on the other side of you. And you just have to get up there, just reach hold of it. It's not always easy. Sometimes it's kind of scary, but reach out for that other you, because once you get to that you, guess what? There'll be another you that's even bigger, stronger, faster, more powerful, and more wise than the you that you even are then. So that's it. We're just going to keep growing, keep learning, keep evolving. And we're going to help you do that right here on the Real Talk with Brookshire show. Again, I'm your host, Lizanna Smith, with my wonderful and beautiful co-host, Shantiera. And we're so happy to have you here today. Next week, we'll be back with Brookshire. And I just want to say, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Holla. Screaming over and over and over and over again. And I don't want to feel this way. And everything starts to fade away. The friends that you had start to dance.